Morning Spurs fans, Paul Hotspur hippie here. Bit of a dreary cold day, and it wasn't a good start today for Tottenham Hotspur. Not a good game at all really. 4-2 to Liverpool. That's a bit flattering, because I think after the first 5 minutes of the game, where we looked all right, we just went on holiday. It's like, season's over, lads. Let's take our foot off the gas. We've only got a couple of games to go before we can go on our jollies. And that was it. They finally then re-emerged from their party mode and realised that there is some football left to play this season at around about 70 minutes. And they continued on the big push for about 15 minutes. So 20 minutes of good play gave us 2 goals. If we'd have played well for 90 minutes, we might have beaten it Liverpool 8-0. Dear oh dear. There's some tough questions to be asked at Tottenham at the moment, and for me they all revolve around the players, man. They all revolve around the players. I don't see what criticism the manager can get about this, because when your players aren't even passing the ball, I mean, we're talking real basics here, man. Not even passing the ball 5 metres without cocking it up. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Where does the responsibility of the players kick in? I mean, it kicks in at passing a ball, man. It really does. Okay, if it's like some advanced 4D chess setup that's going wrong, then I can start pointing a finger at coaches. But when they can't pass a ball, it's their fault, man. It's their fault. Emerson Royale at left back, woeful, not good enough. Should be leaving Tottenham this summer. The question, I guess, is asked, well, why don't you shuffle players around? Which, who knows? I mean, we don't know what goes on in the training ground. That may or may not happen. But I bet there's people out there that are saying, after Ollie Skip came on and replaced Royale, oh, Skip did better at left back, let's play him. Yeah, let's do that. Let's play Ollie Skip at left back. And then when the summer window slams shut and Ollie Skip's still in our ranks and we have to rely on him some day, he'll let us down. And I'm a bit, this is like Tottenham, we've got a bit of a habit and a bit of a history of shuffling players around. And I don't want to, I'm all for players being truly versatile. That's cool. But when your players are being shuffled around because they can't quite cut it in one position, or they're better than the so-called specialist fullback in this instance, then this is exactly what happens. Then it comes to the summer window. Oh, well, no, these players did okay. That one did okay. You can keep playing them. Okay, we'll keep playing them. And then you'll have a run of 6 games without a win next year. So, as to what happens at that left back situation, I don't know. There might be a shout for Dragoshin to come in. Although, to be honest, his agent is shitting me to tears at the moment. He said a couple of days ago that Ange should be playing 3 at the back with Dragoshin, that we'd let in less goals, and he's also looking at his options for an early exit. Well, we'll piss off then. If your agent is a reflection of what you want and what you say, piss off. Just leave. Just leave. Hopefully it is just the agent talking out of turn and talking out of order. But if that's the case, Dragoshin needs him to tell him to shut his mouth a little bit, because this is not cool. So the players don't look like they're following instructions at the moment. I wonder if Ange's words the other day when he's talking about there's going to be a few exits from the club, I wonder if that's ruffled some feathers the wrong way, or is in my mind ruffled them the right way, because it's getting a spotlight put on them. We are really getting to see who's up to it and who's not. And I think if we don't find it out now, we're going to find it out down the track. I'd rather find this stuff out now, before the window, so we can make some changes, plan to get some of these people out of the club. If we cover it up and paper it up with this selection choice and that selection choice, then they're just going to be there on the bench. and I'll hear the phrase, "Oh yeah, Ben Davies is good. He's a good backup player," and I'm fed up. I'm fed up with hearing that as well. I'm fed up with hearing this backup player rubbish. We need a squad of at least 15 damn strong players, probably 18, and then you could start having a bit of experimentation and prog rock with the other 8, 7, 7. You know, maybe a couple of youngsters, things like that. But you don't have people like Ben Davies, Ollie Skip, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Royale as ever-present backups. It's time for all of those players to go. Our midfield has not been firing. Basuma was better, but he's going the safe option. Sarr, it's hard for me to identify whether he played well or not. Bit murky on that one. Bentancur was not good. And up front, there'll be people saying, well, why didn't you play Richie up front? Well, we did last week, and it didn't work. Richarlison works in moments, he works in portions of games, that's about it. We've got so many players that you cannot count on, and I think he's one of them. He's not our solution to up front, but we did look better because he decided to play, you know, all right this time. He actually timed his runs really well. I thought he stayed on side really well, but Son looked much more comfortable out on the left. So maybe for the last few games of this wilting season, we might see a bit of Sonny on the left, Richarlison in the middle, and either Johnson or Kulu out on right. And really, Kulu's another one. Kulu's another one, man. I remember saying before the beginning of the season I would not have bought him because he didn't do enough last season. So now he's had 2 bad seasons. It's been a bad season for Kulu. 2 bad seasons. I'm being ruthless, man. I'm being ruthless. Because this is what we have to do in the rebuild. We have to stick with the manager for one thing. So anyone that's questioning Ange or saying Ange out, I think is a fool, because that's what we keep on doing at Tottenham, and that's why we've not won anything for decent for 40 years, for over 40 years now, because we don't stick it. This is the painful bit we've got to stick through, where players' weaknesses and shortcomings are being exposed, and either some of them will work hard, get their heads down and refocus and overcome those, or some players it'll just be a little bit too hard and they'll just want that nice comfortable Tottenham Hotspur lifestyle at 100 grand a week, and I don't want it anymore. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with it. There's an interesting moment when Vicario had to pull Romero off Royale. If I was big Vic, I'd just let him go next time. Just let him go. Because one thing that really I could not abide by with Royale, I know, yeah, he's a nice presence in the dressing room and all that, but he was clearly at 4-0 down, still having the time of his life out there on the pitch, laughing and giggling around. Man, oh man, I get it where you can have gallows humour, but that's only in moments, man. That didn't look like a guy that was focused. But we got to play him because we've got no other left back. We've got no other left back. I mean, yeah, Destiny Doggy, we miss him. That's not the excuse for how we're going at the moment. Everyone's back, really. No one's injured. That's not the reason things are going wrong at the moment. It's player attitude. Some of them are finding it a little bit tricky. And all you need is a few of them to go off the boil and the whole team gets knackered. But we do miss Destiny. Do miss him a lot. But his stand-in Ben Davies is not up to the job. So he's gone, and then relying on a right back. He's not up to the job. Skip is not up to the job. Midfield. Yeah, Maddison looked better when he came on, that's for sure. He needs to pull his head out of his arse and stop sulking like a big kid though. He was so good when he started Spurs, and he's just been off it the last few games, so he's well worth being dropped. And if when you get dropped you start sulking, man, thanks for your great season at Spurs, but you can piss off as well, Maddison. Any player that plays like that and gets sulky when they get dropped because they can't figure out what the manager's trying to do, leave the club. Leave the club now. We've got business to attend to at Spurs. We have a rebuild going on. A rebuild. We're not finished. We've barely even started. and some people are showing that they just haven't got the ticker, because that more than anything is what I'm seeing in this side at the moment. A lack of spirit, a lack of ticker, a lack of heart. You know, you could be the worst team on the world, but if you play with intensity and spirit, you've got yourself a chance. You've got yourself a chance. If you don't, you've got no chance, and that's what happened. Liverpool, to their credit, were very good. Look, I'm not, you know, but again, just like the match last week, I don't think they stopped us from playing well. In fact, there were moments where we were playing our press really well. We were getting the ball off them, nice and high up the pitch, and then just running out of ideas and not knowing what to do with the ball. There's so many chances where people should be having shots and not. Their decision making is terrible up front, and we're just trying to rely on going down to the byline, cutting it back. But boy, oh boy, we were scoring a variety of goals earlier in the season. Trying to focus on that too much. I don't know what's going on with these players at the moment, but we've got a nice easy game apparently next time against Burnley. We have to stick through this. Jurgen Klopp in his first 35 games had 2 points less than us. Pep, I think, had a couple of points less, so Ange at 60 points is about on par for doing Kloppy, Pep type good things in the next few years. But if we all bottle it and say, oh, Ange has been found out, it's naive tactics, he doesn't understand football, well, I think you're an idiot and a bottler, and you have no idea how football works at all, if that's what you're saying. If you think Ange's plan is for the players to go out there and not be able to pass the ball 5 metres, I don't know, man. I don't know. So we've got to stick with the manager. Ange Postecoglou is the man. We've got to get up and lick our wounds a little bit and come back and batter Burnley and see if we can get something right for the end of the season. But I think for a few players in our glorious white kit, I think the writing's already on the wall. I don't think there's anything some of these people can do to redeem themselves now. It's adios, and it's adios for me. Peace and love, man. Peace and love, and come on, you Spurs.